Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Right now on HHS In Depth, a lot of jobs are open and looking for part-time high school students this time of year. Learn some tips on how to secure the job you want.
Plus, if you've made it to downtown Fort Wayne in the last few months, you may have noticed an increase of murals painted on the sides of buildings. Meet the artists behind them and the reason for creating them. Those stories and more straight ahead. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nisha Alaria.
And I'm Jenna Lane. And Nisha, tonight's game is Red for Riley. I can't wait to see everyone out there wearing red.
I have my red shirt picked out at home.
Many high school students are thinking about working part-time to help earn some extra cash during the school year. To help you with some tips on how to secure the job you want, here's HHS In Depth reporter Nada Dahouk.
For many students, finding a job may seem like a simple task, but sometimes the stress of the interview process and finding a job that works for you can get in the way of that. For this reason, there are a few things to consider before going in for an interview. Not only do you want to prove that you would be right for the position, but also that the position would be right for you. Be sure to research the company first. Figure out basic information about the business, like their overall goal, social media handles, and what they offer to the public. This will help you confirm that this is the best fit job for you. Reread the job description and think of examples from your past that would support the idea that you would be a good addition as a worker. This could include past job experiences, volunteer work, or projects that you played a role in. It is likely the first question they will ask you is to tell them about yourself. This question is meant to set the tone for the interviewer on who you are, so be sure to lead with a confident answer. You can start by talking about your present situation, what school you attend, and what you enjoy doing. If any of your skills may relate to the job, be sure to mention those as well. Then talk about your past accomplishments and the place you grew up. End your response by explaining your future plans for college and careers. At the end of the interview, they will ask if you have any questions. Be prepared to ask questions that show you have seriously thought about the job. You can ask about your day-to-day responsibilities that you may have in the position, challenges you may face, and how your performance would be measured. These are just a few things to consider beforehand, but during the interview, make sure to mention the time and dates that you are available to work. While it is important to get job experience during high school, make sure you can balance the job first. Next week, I'll bring you a story over student workers and how they balance schoolwork with their job. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Nada Dahouk.
Thank you, Nada. A new trend sweeping across the country are murals created by artists to help revitalize and brighten up buildings and exteriors downtown. This trend has really picked up here in Fort Wayne as well. HHS In Depth reporter Cora Shaw heads downtown to learn more about these beautiful pieces of art.
You may have noticed lots of murals going up in downtown Fort Wayne recently. This is a result of the Art This Way program, where leaders have been working to make downtown more inviting and comfortable.
So my name is Alex Hall, and I'm a full-time artist. I go by Alexandra Hall in the art world. I am the one that basically helps facilitate the back end of a mural from start to finish. And so the Art This Way program, it operates under the Downtown Improvement District, and we've been bringing public art to downtown for 5 years. We were in a position as a community where we really needed a little push, and so I guess I was inspired to see what I love around the world here in my hometown.
My name is Jeremy Stroop, and I've been a part of the one you see right behind me. This is Sean Dunwoody's mural, Hello Fort Wayne. After I'd worked with him for a few days, he said, hey, you want to just paint this section? As a result, I got a mural of my own last year. It's like an underwater scene of a river where a blue heron is diving underwater to catch fish.
By connecting an artist to a business, Art This Way opens up an underutilized space downtown and adds a sense of vibrancy and culture.
But the effect that it's had is pretty tremendous, because I've worked right across the street, and I've worked there for 7 years, and seeing this alley in particular beforehand and the alleys around, there's always someone in these alleys now. They're much more of a space you can hang out, where before it was like you would put your head down and you'd hurry through the alley. It's safer, it's brighter, it's happier, it's more beautiful, and honestly, I think it brings people downtown, which promotes business.
If you're ever looking for something to do over the weekends, head downtown and experience the art and culture that Fort Wayne has to offer. Reporting from downtown Fort Wayne for HHS In Depth, I'm Cora Shaw.
If you're heading out to the football game tonight, be sure to take into account the heat these last few days. Unlike the last few weeks, we'll be getting back into the 80s for the game. I'll tell you how long this second wave of summer will stick around a little bit later on.
You're watching HHS In Depth
With Nisha Lalaria.
and Jenna Lane.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth. Students, there are still lots of pre-ordered student section t-shirts that haven't been picked up. If you pre-ordered one, go to Mr. Schenkel's room 600B, before or after school each day. If you are unsure if you ordered one, ask a parent or go to room 600B and see if you're on the list.
Seniors, be sure to check out the scholarships page on the HHS website for more information about scholarships with upcoming deadlines, such as the IU Well Scholarship. Students wishing to apply for the scholarship must submit all application materials to Student Services by the deadline of Thursday, October 14th at 2:45 p.m. No late applications will be accepted.
You are invited to a once-in-a-lifetime travel experience to Japan in the summer of 2023. From experiencing the culture and trying new foods to meeting new people and, of course, using the vending machines. An informational Zoom meeting will be held next Wednesday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. Register to reserve your spot by scanning the QR code on a poster, even if you can't attend the meeting. If you have any questions, please see Mrs. B in room 208.
Did you miss the initial meeting of Homestead Spell Bowl team yesterday? If so, they forgive you. If you are still interested in the Spell Bowl team, please stop by Mr. Coolglazer's room, room 520, anytime or send him an email at the email address shown here.
And now here's a look at a few of the Homestead clubs taking place over the next week. Have you ever wondered what drives people or what makes you who you are? Psychology Club meets today in Mr. Decker's room, room 714. K-Pop Club meets today at 2:45 in room 924. Are you interested in current events? Do you enjoy discussing politics? Get out to Young Progressives today in Mrs. Smith's room, room 614. All political viewpoints are welcome and snacks will be provided. Students Against Destructive Decisions will meet on Monday in room 714.
More clubs meeting over the next week. Audio aficionados will meet every Monday in room 600B. Every week, they listen to influential and groundbreaking music and discuss all music topics. On Monday, they will be listening to David Bowie. Young Americans for Freedom will have its first meeting of the year on Monday right after school. Go out to room 718, Mr. Biles' room, to talk about current events and get to know the group. All political viewpoints are welcome. German Club will meet after school on Monday in Mr. Yeager's room, room 217. And join the first art club activity for free on Wednesday in room 108, Mrs. Jones's room. They'll be making collaborative artworks on cars for the annual Arts and Crafts Bazaar.
You have probably noticed a group of Homestead students that volunteer their time to help at various events throughout the school year and help new students get acclimated to Homestead. To learn more about our student ambassadors, here's HHS In Depth reporter Carly Flanagan.
Homestead hosts many events and has new students welcomed at Homestead every single year. But there are students that need to help out with that, which is why a few years ago, Homestead implemented a new program called Student Ambassadors.
Student Ambassadors is just a program that tries to help make new students feel welcome, so like freshmen or people who are new to the district. So we have a bunch of events that are for just new students, so like 9th grade orientations for all the new students, and then New Family Night also is for students that are new to the district.
Some student ambassador events are registration day where we give tours or help people find their classrooms. We also do Taste of the Arts where we provide a STEM activity to the community, and Tailgate and Tour this past year where we gave tours to our previous alumni.
Ambassadors help out with a variety of fun events, so many people want to get involved. But in order to become a student ambassador, you must be nominated.
Mrs. Klinker and I, we reach out to the teachers and seek out recommendations of those who exemplify student leadership. They're kind, they reach out to other students, they're engaging, and they would just represent Homestead really well. And if you attend the call-out meeting, then we do give you an application where you can apply. And every year it varies on how many students. So we try to get a well-balanced representation of 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders.
After becoming an ambassador, many students love being involved with the program.
My favorite part about being a student ambassador is giving tours to new students, helping out at events such as registration day and stuff like that. Last year I gave a tour to a new student to Homestead, and now she's one of my best friends. So student ambassadors gives you great opportunities to meet new people and just be a smiling face around Homestead.
I definitely encourage people to become a student ambassador because it's just a good way to help new students feel welcome and become a part of the Homestead community.
If you ever see a Homestead Spartan wearing a shirt like this or a yellow ambassador shirt, then you know that they're a friendly face that you can talk to as an ambassador. If you'd like to become an ambassador, be sure to show your school spirit. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Carly Flanagan.
Thank you, Carly. Last year, the pandemic made the logistics of lunches at Homestead a challenging one. This year's been a little easier, but there are still a few hurdles to face each day. To learn more about these changes at lunch, here's HHS In Depth reporter Thomas Lazar.
With the rise of the student population at Homestead, you may have noticed the seating arrangements for students this year. The one thing that stayed the same due to COVID last year are seniors eating in the community room. This year, however, Stack's Food Service Director, Mr. Brown, wants to make sure seniors have all the food options available to them.
Honestly, to be quite honest, this construction that's going on out here, that's our solution, but obviously that's a long-term solution. So I think the community room, offering that to seniors, was the short-term solution, giving them the option to take their food down there. But we felt like last year when the seniors were eating in the community room, they didn't have the same options, everything available. With us opening up more lines this year, we wanted for seniors to have those options.
However, even with there being fewer restrictions, it has still not been easy with COVID-19 still affecting them in many ways.
This has been the most challenging year. I've been in food service for approaching 20 years. And this has been the most challenging year as far as being able to get what we want to order.
Although getting the food items that they want to serve has been a challenge, the food staff is committed to giving students what they want, and students serving themselves has been a big help.
Not having to do that this year has allowed us to move away and offer more options. So I feel like that's what we've been able to do, is open up a couple more lines and give us a little more flexibility.
Even with the recent challenges, the lunch staff still has their heads up high. Be sure to look out for the incoming changes sure to come. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Thomas Lazar.
Turning to weather now, the Spartans are back at home tonight to take on Snyder in football. So how's the weather looking out there for the game?
Cole Steinacker joins us now to tell us that answer.
Thanks, Jenna and Nisha. The weather for tonight's game against Snyder will be warmer than it has been the past few weeks. You can expect sunny skies and a temperature of 80 degrees at kickoff and falling down to the lower 70s by the end of the game. Moving on to the weekend, we will see a high of 84 degrees on Saturday and end up to 85 degrees on Sunday. Both days will bring partly cloudy skies and very muggy and un-September-like conditions. It's a nice weekend to get outside and enjoy some outdoor activities, and it may just be our last weekend that feels like summer. I'll be back later on with an outlook on the weather for next week.
All right, thank you, Cole.
Next in sports, we'll take a look back at this past week from our fall sports teams. Anthony Gary is in next to break the week down in the locker report. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Locker Report. I'm Anthony Gary. Spartan Sports, we're back in action for another week, starting with the Homestead Bishop Dwenger football game. Sports reporter Caleb Wood brings you a recap of the game.
The stakes are high after the Spartans stopped Bishop Dwenger's 2-point conversion in triple overtime last year. And now they are back out at Shields Field and looking to keep the streak alive for another year. The Saints get the ball first and they would waste no time. KJ Tipman of the Saints puts them up by 7. But now for the Spartans on their very first play, Slavin passes deep to Nate Anderson, and the catch is good, and he takes it home. We now have a tied ball game, 7-7. Still in the first, Spartans are heating up. Back in the red zone this time, it's Brett Fox who escapes the tackles and gives Homestead the lead. Later in the second quarter, it's Slavin with the 15-yard pass that connects to Anderson to put the Spartans up by 2 scores going into the locker room. Getting to the second half, now check this one out. Dwenger goes deep, but no, it's picked off in the end zone by Homestead's Aaron Wagner. Later on in the second half, Slavin works his way in from 2 yards out. The junior quarterback threw for 245 yards last Friday, as well as led the running game with 65 rushing yards. 28-7 going into the final quarter. Bishop Dwenger would close the point gap by scoring twice in the fourth. But here, Nate Anderson with the kick return, he gets all the way out to the sideline and he is just gone once again. 142 receiving yards on the night for the senior wide receiver. And the Homestead Spartans would beat Bishop Dwenger on their home field once again, 37-21 the final.
Looking around other Homestead athletics, the girls' golf team was back in action Tuesday, closing out the regular season at the Chestnut Hills Golf Club. The team won, led by senior Maddie DeBeja with a score of 34. Also, Eliza Saul shot her season low Tuesday with a 36. The girls' next match is sectionals on Saturday. Next up, the volleyball team defeated Huntington North 3-0 on Wednesday. Tess Herendine had 2 aces, Haley Biedenbach had 16 assists, Leah Mummert had 2 blocks, Ava Tyndall had 8 kills, and Olivia Cron had 13 digs. The girls compete in their next match tomorrow. The girls' soccer team, ranked number 4 in the state, defeated the number 6 ranked Columbus North High School. Amelia White had 2 goals, and Sydney Couch, Emily Graham, and Lucy Gray all had 1 goal. The girls continue to be undefeated with their win last Saturday, bringing them to 8-0. The boys' soccer team played 2 games over the past week. Last Saturday, they fell 2-1 to Cathedral, but bounced back Wednesday with a 2-1 win over Warsaw. The goals Wednesday were scored by Noah Smith and Caden Cassidy. The soccer team plays tonight at home against the Carmel Greyhounds. The boys' tennis team competed twice over the past week. On Tuesday, the team lost 3-2 against rival Carroll. However, the boys bounced back with a 4-1 win over South Adams. Catch them in action again tomorrow morning here at Homestead High School. And finally, although the boys and girls varsity cross-country teams weren't in action last Saturday, you can see them hit the course again tomorrow at the West Noble Invitational. The football team is back at home tonight to take on the Snyder Panthers. It's Red for Riley tonight, so be sure to wear your red and bring some money to donate for the kids. For the Locker Report, I'm Anthony Gary. Cole will have a final check of the weather when we come back.
Next week on HHS In Depth, reporter Jenna Lane will give us a recap of Homestead's Chicken and Dumplings fundraiser. Make sure you get out and support the booth at the Johnny Appleseed Festival this weekend. Catch this story and more next week on HHS In Depth.
The weather for this week is expected to be hot again. The only real chance of rain will be on Wednesday. Looking ahead even more shows that this might be our final weekend we see in the 80s, so enjoy the outdoor weather while you can. Jenna and Nisha, back to you.
All right, thank you, Cole. And thank you for watching today.
Good luck to the football team as they face Snyder at home. The theme tonight is wearing red for Riley. Have a great weekend, Homestead, and we will see you back here again next week.